planning to boycott the president's State of the Union address 2 weeks from tomorrow.
So, are the Democrats sending the wrong message on Martin Luther King Jr.'s day?
All right, here to react, the niece of Dr. Martin Luther King, Fox News contributor Alveda King. Alveda, I know this is an extremely special day for you and your family, but I have to use your analysis skills now. For America, do you think that Congressman Lewis is making a courageous stand, or do you think he's sending out the wrong message?
Well, very quickly, as I answer that beautiful statement of the 103-year-old woman who is still serving is so beautiful, and that is just so encouraging to me. And that is part of the American message, and I think that was great. With Congressman Lewis, who fought so valiantly in the 20th century, you know, I marched and went to jail for open housing during that same time, and there is so much that he contributed. I believe I do have a quote from my uncle, Rev.Martin Luther King Jr., excuse me as I look down just for a second to share that with you. And it's in my new book, King Truths, that's going to be released tomorrow. That's just a little pitch to let you know, but I put this quote in the book. This is Martin Luther King Jr.'s words, and I want to remind Congressman Lewis of what we have been fighting for so long. My uncle said, "I am convinced that men hate each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because they don't communicate with each other, and they don't communicate with each other because they are separated from each other." So by protesting and staying away, although a protest has its place, there's a time and season for everything, protest as well, and yet there's a time for prayer and unity. So by staying away from the president, not following the Kingian nonviolent steps that Congressman Lewis has perfected so well, I just would like to see conversation along with the pain and agony that the congressman is expressing.
Sure, but Dr. King, you know that when somebody calls you a racist, it's kind of hard to talk to that person if they are of that opinion.
Well, I do not believe President Donald John Trump is a racist. I mean, look at everything. The economy's up, jobs are up in the black community. There's great promise to get a lot of people who have been unfairly incarcerated out. So there's so many economic opportunities for babies in the womb. The president is working for America, period, as he's draining the swamp. And African Americans are benefiting. Our jobs are going up. Our unemployment is going down. Companies are saying they're going to raise their own minimum wage and do bonuses because of the tax cuts. So the president is helping the African American community, and I don't believe President Donald John Trump is a racist.
So how could he make your job easier explaining that? Since you know the president personally, how could he how could he explain that better?
The president should continue doing what he's doing, draining that swamp, making more job opportunities for everybody, including African Americans, making it possible for more people to get back to work. Even on Medicaid, he says we can still give you the assistance, but we can also give you a job. And, you know, there's a saying, if you don't work, you don't eat. The lady is 103 years old. She's still going to work every day. Maybe that's helping her to live a long life. My goodness. And helping and serving a day on and not a day off for Martin Luther King. That's where we need to be.
Alveda, he's doing all these great things, but you're saying it's time for him to take this message directly to the people and kind of skip over the so-called leaders or representatives of the black community.
Well, I pray the president begins to tweet some of the good news and things he's done. Then everybody will say he's bragging on himself. So, well, he one way or the other, they'll complain about it. So we're just going to keep letting, I tell you what, the more people who go back to work, when you get your job, tell everybody you have a job. Please just tweet that.
There you go. All right. Because it is Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, a federal and state holiday, Dr. King, for the young people who were not alive when your uncle was here, what do they need to know about him?
Martin Luther King Jr. believed that we are one human race, one blood. God made all people. Martin Luther King Jr. believed that we can learn to live together as brothers and sisters and not perish as fools. Martin Luther King Jr. believed and taught us that we can love each other. Love never fails. So we can begin to communicate, talk with each other, and not hate each other and be so angry. And just, stand face to face and just be transparent, tell the truth. And as we continue to do that, we're going to have a better America. And I believe, young people, you can do this. I believe that you can.
That's very nice. Dr. Alveda.